Welcome to another edition of Not Just Giants. I'm Matt, and today I'm here to give my reaction to this horrific loss to the Seahawks. First off, to all those who played the Seattle defense in fantasy on Monday night, congrats on winning your week. 11 sacks, 10 tackles for a loss, 2 interceptions, 2 fumbles, a strip sack TD, and a pick six from the red zone. I really thought after last year, despite a tough schedule, upgrading the talent on both sides of the ball in the offseason would translate to enjoying a fun season. But are we having fun yet? When the season began, I truly believed this was an offense that could be legitimately explosive. But the sad truth is, it simply does not have enough ability to protect so that we can actually see what that offense could look like. There is literally no blocking from this historically bad offensive line, something I did not see coming. Now, of course, some will say, but Matt, we were missing our all-pro left tackle, and JMS left the game injured after the first series. What do you expect? To that I say, did you see what the Seahawks did with even more of an injury-riddled mess on their offensive line? Sure, Seattle's offense was limited to only 10 points, and Kayvon Thibodeaux was able to sack Geno Smith twice. Kudos to our defense for playing a solid, if unspectacular, game. And that's the problem right there, isn't it? Whereas our defense merely made stops against their banged-up line, theirs made huge, timely, game-changing plays against ours that stopped us on fourth down, limited us to 3 points, and put 14 points on the board for them while crushing our team spirit with 11 sacks. I'd still like to see what happens when we can play a full game with all our offensive line starters, but hey, this is the NFL. Injuries are part of the game. Every team gets them, including our opponent last night. And they held it together playing complementary football while we simply embarrassed ourselves. And speaking of complementary football, I'd be remiss if I didn't comment on yet another piss-poor special teams performance. While the rash of penalties and a punt return fumble, which the Giants recovered by Eric Gray, was bad enough, in what universe, after watching arguably our best cornerback, Adoree Jackson, get injured and miss multiple weeks last year, how are the Giants so ill-prepared for this season that they feel it necessary to put Jackson back there again in this game? It's mind-boggling, incomprehensible, and infuriating. Dabes just can't get a free pass on that one. Firing special teams coach Thomas McGaughey needs to at least be on the table. But the reality is, as bad as our special teams are and have been for years, that's not anywhere near as big a problem as the offensive line. And while it's difficult to know how much of the problem lies with Coach Johnson, even with much draft capital dedicated to it, compared to other teams' lines, i.e. Exhibit A, the Seattle Seahawks, apart from Andrew Thomas and maybe Ben Bredeson, there just doesn't seem to be any development with these Giants linemen, and that falls on the coaching. Whether it actually helps or not, at this point, in a tough business like the NFL, there's nothing to lose by shaking that box. As far as Daniel Jones goes, he didn't play great. In fact, he kind of sucked. Could very well have been his worst game as a pro. To a certain extent, DJ needs to make lemonade out of O-line lemons, and there's no denying he likely made the wrong decision in that red zone down 14-3 early in the fourth quarter when he threw the pick six to Devon Witherspoon, which killed any chance of a comeback and almost certainly eliminated the Giants from any hope of playoff contention in 2023. Jones has to make better decisions, even when his line does everything it can to destroy his confidence. He just can't let it snowball like that. But to be fair, we've seen good Daniel Jones and know he's a capable quarterback. I expect he'll take this adversity as a learning experience and bounce back. If nothing else, the NFL is a humbling league. This 24-3 loss to the Seahawks game hurt worse than the 40-0 blowout loss to Dallas in the opener, because this game was actually winnable. Now, all that remains to do for this playoff-less year is to, by any means necessary, try to improve the play in all areas, but especially along an offensive line, which has single-handedly wrecked the 2023 season and must be drastically improved if the team has any hope of effectively utilizing its weapons in the run and pass game and fielding a competitive team in 2024. Let's go!